such as miniature indoor golf, hamster ball, cornhole, Jenga, and games and board games, and pizza. And all of this is free. So if you know of any teen or unit teen that you think might be interested in learning more about our fun nights, you could go to the YFM table, and I'll be there at the end of the service and have postcards with QR codes on them. You can pass these cards out to anyone you think might be interested. What they could do is scan the QR code, which will give them more information about the fun night, and then they can also register. We're asking all teens and unit teens to register. So it'll be fun with games and activities, pizza, and it is free. Youth and Family Ministry at Unity of Houston is going to try something new and different. You know, we realize that the Sunday program may not be for all teens or unit teens. So what we're going to do is have a teen fun night and a unit teen fun night starting July the 19th. This will be held the third Friday of every month from 6 o'clock to 9 o'clock. The teens will be in one location and the unit teens will be in a different location. We'll have games, activities such as miniature indoor golf, hamster ball, cornhole, Jenga, and games and board games, and pizza. And all of this is free. So if you know of any teen or unit teen that you think might be interested in learning more about our fun nights, you could go to the YFM table, and I'll be there at the end of the service and have postcards with QR codes on them. You can pass these cards out to anyone you think might be interested. What they could do is scan the QR code, which will give them more information about the fun night, and then they can also register. We're asking all teens and unit teens to register. So it'll be fun with games and activities, pizza, and it is free. Youth and Family Ministry at Unity of Houston is going to try something new and different. You know, we realize that the Sunday program may not be for all teens or unit teens. So what we're going to do is have a teen fun night and a unit teen fun night starting July the 19th. This will be held the third Friday
I want to sing of the goodness of God, and Your goodness is running after me. Yeah. Your goodness is running after me. With my life laid down, I surrender now. I give you everything. Oh, yeah. Your goodness is running after me. All my life you have been faithful. All my life you have been so good. Every breath that I am able, I'm gonna sing of the goodness of God. All my life you have been faithful. All my life you have been so good to me. Every breath that I am able, I will sing of the goodness of God. Yes, I will sing of the goodness of God. I will sing of the goodness of God. Welcome to the air conditioning, y'all. Say, I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith, I see it alive. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. With no more struggle, no more strife. With my faith, I see a light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God.
We are open for business this morning. I'm so glad to see all of you. It's time to greet your neighbors with a handshake, a hug, a holy high five, or just a beautiful smile. Go forth and bless one another. Hey, Bobby, how are you, honey? How you doing? Oh, thank you.
I'm doing better.
Good, I'm glad. My friend Carol, how are you?
So good to see you.
So good. It's always good.
It's good to see you.
Good to see you. How you doing, honey? Ooh, I like them yellow shoes, honey.
Oh,
You doing all
I
right?
so love you.
I love you too.
I'm coming to your class today.
Oh,
you say yes?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes,
I'm only here for God.
Youth and Family Ministry at Unity of Houston is going to try something new and different. You know, we realize that the Sunday program may not be for all teens or uniteens. Every month, from 6 o'clock to 9 o'clock, the teens will be in one location and the uniteens will be in a different location. We'll have games, activities such as miniature indoor golf, hamster ball, cornhole, Jenga, and games and board games, and pizza. And all of this is free. So if you know of any teen or uniteen that you think might be interested in learning more about our fun nights, you could go to the YFM table, and I'll be there at the end of the service and have postcards with QR codes on them. You can pass these cards out to anyone you think might be interested. What they could do is scan the QR code, which will give them more information about the fun night, and then they can also register. We're asking all teens and uniteens to register. So it'll be fun with games and activities, pizza, and it is free. Youth and Family Ministry at Unity of Houston is going to try something new and different. You know, we realize that the Sunday program may not be for all teens or uniteens.
Did you know that the practice of meditation has been a part of the Unity path since the beginning of Unity? Our co-founders, Charles and Myrtle Fillmore, talked about meditation a lot, and they often referred to it as entering the silence. And Myrtle described the silence as a type of stillness, a place of retreat into which we may enter. And having entered, we may know the truth. So whatever your relationship is with meditation, whether you are a curious or frustrated beginner, been there, or an experienced meditator who's looking to refresh and re-energize your practice, or a person who just is way too busy to meditate, we'd have a treat for you no matter where you're at with that. On Saturday, July 20th, we are hosting a meditation day retreat. We're going to use the day to explore a wide variety of meditation practices to support you. We'll incorporate some movement and music along the way, and we're going to be doing it all on this beautiful Sacred Unity campus, exploring some spaces here that maybe you've never even been in. So I invite you to give yourself this gift of a day of deep rest, of renewal. Within your spiritual community, be uplifted, experience connection, and come home to the truth of who you are. So you can register on the Unity Houston website, unityhouston.org, on the helpful links section. See you soon. Did you know that? Good morning. We have lots of exciting activities and events happening here at Unity, as always. And the first person that's here to tell us about some of these is our very own Elaine Prue. Let's give her a hand from our Millennials Plus group. Thank you, Elaine.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Elaine, and I wear a lot of hats at the church, but today I'm here to talk to you about our Millennials Plus group. So we're a group of late 20s to mid 40s people invested in our spiritual growth and wanting to connect with people who are at a similar stage in life. We meet up for social events, volunteering, and spirit groups. Most recently, we had a beach day down in Galveston, and we supported each other through the craziness of the storm last week. This coming Saturday, we're going to meet up in the Museum District for lunch and then head over to explore the Museum of Fine Arts for a few hours. So if you'd like to join us, we would love to have you. You can email us at unitymillennials@gmail.com for more information. We'll also send you a survey link to get on our email list so you get information about all of our future events. And if you forgot the email, you can look for Millennials Plus in the Groups at Unity section on the Unity Houston website and find our survey link there, and then we'll get you all the information you need. So in addition to the museum outing, we have a spirit group happening right now that you can still join, pickleball on the last Saturday of July, and an ice cream social coming up in August. So lots of opportunities to connect and explore. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Most of us are experiencing some degree of loneliness in this day and age, and we want more opportunities for connection, but we don't do anything about it, or we just don't even know where to start. So here's your opportunity. Reach out to us and let's connect. We'll see you soon. Thanks.
Isn't she wonderful? Elaine is also on our board, and she and Nikki Carter and Olivia Ozan Young, they do such a wonderful job of this Millennials Plus group. We've seen a great influx of people that age, and they've really created a lot of great opportunities for people to connect. So thank you all so much. So now I have the great honor and pleasure of welcoming our very own Stephanie Foy and Dr. Jean Ladding to the stage.
Good morning. So many of y'all know me. I'm Stephanie Foy. I've been a prayer partner here. I help lead up unity in the community and also taught the Enneagram class. And this is my friend, my colleague, and my mentor, Jean Ladding. And some of you may know her from her involvement with Healing the Heart of America work here at Unity. We are excited a lot to be sharing this special day with our Unity family. Today is our first in-person book event. This book was just published officially on Tuesday of this week. So our book is called Conscious Change: How to Navigate Differences and Foster Inclusion in Everyday Relationships. Jean Ladding authored the book with Jean Ramsey, along with contributions from myself and my daughter, Amy Hageman, who many of y'all know from her attendance here at Unity also. So, pretty cool. 3 of the 4 authors on this book attend Unity of Houston. So there's a connection, right? Amy had hoped to be here today, but Hurricane Beryl, she decided to stay in Nebraska where it's nice and cool and there's power. So, Jean, you want to tell them a little bit about the book?
Yes, thanks, Stephanie. My co-author, Jean Ramsey, and I published our first book, Reframing Change, in 2009. Our goal was to offer sound advice on how to live and work with people different from oneself. We did a lot of research and a lot of personal trial and error to develop the principles and skills in the book. We then taught them in our classes, me at the University of Houston and Jean at Texas Southern. Then with Amy and Stephanie, we took our show on the road and went to corporate, government, and nonprofit organizations. Over the years, former students and clients have come back to me with stories of their success in applying the skills. They would be all excited to tell me about how the book helped them navigate difficult situations in their relationships at work and at home. One day it occurred to me there is a new book in these stories. The end result is that we now have a published book with 19 different stories of conscious change. It's special to me to have this book signing at Unity because I knew when I was writing the book that the skills we were describing were not only supported by research, they were also tangible ways to live out Unity principles. Unity emphasizes how to be the best you can be, walk the talk, while also giving grace to others to be their best selves. The book describes how 19 authors use the conscious change principles to do just that.
So, thank you, Jean, and thanks to Donna in the bookstore for hosting us. So, just an FYI, all books that are being sold through Unity, all proceeds are going to Unity. So, Jean has donated books to Unity, so all the proceeds will actually go to Unity. So we'd love to see you in the bookstore after the service. There are refreshments because it's second Sunday, so come on over, get a book. They are part of the sizzling summer sale, and we'll see you over there. And if you're interested, we'll sign them. So, thanks. Have a great Sunday.
I never cease to be amazed at the talents and gifts and the way people share their passions here at Unity of Houston. It's absolutely beautiful. And speaking of that, you can share more than your gifts and passion. You can share your blood if you would like to. Next week, we're having a blood drive. We have the table out in the lobby today with our beautiful Miss Patty Briggs is out there, and you can sign up to donate. So this is the part of the service where we like to welcome anyone who's here for the first time. Whether you're here for the first time in the service, in the sanctuary itself, or online, you are so welcome. Oh, beautiful. Thank you. Welcome. So glad you found us. So glad you found us. One of the things Reverend Michael says every week, and I don't know an improvement. Oh, another. Oh, well, this is wonderful. Wonderful. So I was going to say, I don't know how to improve upon what Reverend Michael says every week is wherever you are on your spiritual journey, you are always welcome here. And I trust and know that you will be welcomed, you will be loved, and you will be embraced, just as I was and just was every one person that's been here. We do have a gift for you out on the welcome table for those of you that are in person. And if you're online, we have a digital visitor's card for you to fill out. So after all this excitement, we always love to take it into a time of meditation. We allow Boris to prepare us for that now.
I softly close my eyes, letting go of everything in this holy silence. You have come to me. This is the path I've chosen. It's like I've always known. This road will lead me home. This road will lead me home.
So I invite you, if you haven't done so already, to close down your eyes, perhaps just lower your gaze, and arrange your body in a way that allows you to feel both comfortable and supported, relaxed, and yet alert. We're going to take just a moment to simply relax into the breath. And the words of that beautiful song that Boris sang, this road that leads us home, allow your breath to be that road, the road that carries you home to the still center of your being. And the mind and its desire for activity may be offering reasons why you cannot be at peace now. There may be some disruptions or feelings of tension or constriction within you. We don't need to resist those. I just invite you to breathe into them. Make them welcome. For the life, the peace, the love in which we live, move, and have our being is vast enough, is infinite, and can hold it all. So we can relax into the still waters running deep within our being. And if there are thoughts that arise that are not peace, I invite you to extend them love. If there are thoughts that arise that generate fear, I invite you to extend them compassion. If there are thoughts that generate uncertainty, I invite you to embrace them in your stillness. Embrace them and release. Just as the flow of the inhalation and exhalation. Thoughts arise and we let them go. Emotions arise. See them, acknowledge them, can let them go. And all the while we are at home in the truth of who we are, the truth that in the core of our being, in the soul of our being, we are okay. All is well. We have exactly what we need right here, right now. And so knowing this for ourselves, that we are beings of peace, we are beings of love, I invite you now to send that peace, send that love out into any areas of the world, any circumstances, challenges, places that you know where there's apparent discord, where there's the opposite of harmony, the opposite of clarity, the opposite of finding a right way forward. Whatever it is out there, I invite you to send the love that you are to those places. Knowing that at any moment, any time we choose to do so, we can come back home to this place of center, this place of knowing our well-being, of knowing ourself in our infiniteness, of in our vastness and all of our glory. We're only ever just one conscious breath away from that realization. And so with gratitude for all that we are, we say thank you, God. And so it is. Amen.
Abraham and Sarah thought they'd never have a son, but descendants came as countless as the stars. Moses and God's people had nowhere else to run, but the waters of the Red Sea stood apart. So many times the light of hope was setting like the sun, and it seems to the faithful it was over, it was done. But God sees a way when miracles are well beyond our view. God's love saves the day when fear would tell us there is just no use. You can look the whole world over for a meaning of it all, for the purpose that mankind has always sought. But in the end you'll discover there is no other answer but God. I know your heart is aching. The pain just comes in waves. Everywhere you look, it seems there is no peace. You try not to give up, but the tears will not relent. Any moment now, you might accept defeat. So you stand there with impossible, the next words on your lips, and your vision is blinded and nothing's making sense. But God sees a way. Well, when miracles are well beyond you, God's love saves the day. Well, when fear would tell us there is just no use, we can look the whole world over for the meaning of it all, for the purpose that mankind has always sought. But in the end you'll discover there is no other answer but God. In the end you discover there is no other answer but God. But God, but God.
Oh, that was so beautiful. And the truth in it, no answer but God. So if that's true, why do we need to keep coming back here? We've got the answer. But I think it's sometimes because we say it like, but God. Maybe we've been saying that a little bit this week. So Reverend Michael will be back next week. He kicked off our Power of Now series last week. This was planned time off, so he's alive and well, I can assure you. And one of the things that he talked about last week as we began this discovery of the power of now is the idea that we are not the mind. Yes, we have a mind. It's a wonderful tool, but we are not the mind. And I loved when he talked about, I invite you to go back and watch this talk if you didn't see it. He talked about the difference between having a sound mind and a mind that makes a lot of sounds. And my mind sure has been making a lot of sounds, particularly this week. I can relate to that with everything that's been going on here. And so Eckhart Tolle talks about this idea that it's not that the mind is a problem. We use the mind. We need the mind. The problem kicks in is that when we think that we are the mind, when we get wrapped up in all these thoughts, we think we have to follow every single one of them. We confuse our identity with what the mind says we are, and it creates a lot of suffering. In fact, a vast amount of human suffering can be traced back to somebody having a thought of separation, a thought that they needed to make something out here was the problem and they needed to fix it. Or that they themselves were a problem and they didn't know what to do with that, so they acted out in unhelpful ways. So Eckhart says, and I love him because he's very blunt, and he has a very droll sense of humor, and he says, well, if you want to stop this, free yourself from suffering, just end the delusion of time. That's all you have to do. So, I mean, in your to-do list and in your day-to-day life, just go ahead and end the delusion of time. And if y'all know how to do that, go ahead and tell me because I would love to know. As I was online the other day and I saw somebody had posted a picture of a sign. It was a meme and it said, interested in time travel? Meet me here last Thursday. I wasn't sure. So that's what it feels like. Ending the delusion of time would be as simple as meeting somebody here last Thursday. But Eckhart does talk about that there are two different types of time, according to him. There's clock time and there's psychological time. In clock time, we need clock time. Some of us love clock time. This is how we plan. This is how we know to be here at 11 o'clock today. This is how we can set goals and predict how long things are going to take us to do things, do activities. It helps us organize. And some of us are really in love with clock time, and some of us feel a little more free to interpret it, and those two groups typically annoy one another. So clock time, there's no problem with that, but often what can happen when we get immersed in clock time, it can kind of start migrating over into psychological time. And what psychological time, as Eckhart describes it, is the mind's need to get out of the now. It's very uncomfortable in the now, this mind mechanism that Eckhart calls the ego. Ego can be a little confusing because different teachings describe it differently. So I'm going to use the word the mind mechanism here because that's not ambiguous, is it? But anyway, this mind mechanism that you might call the ego, it can't relax in the now. Because this mechanism wants there to be something to solve, a problem to solve. So what this mind does is it either points to your past, and there's something in the past that happened that is preventing me from being happy now, or something in the past that was so great that if I could just get back to that time, then I could be happy now. Okay, if that doesn't work, the mind will say, well, in the future, if this happens, then I will be fulfilled, then I will feel complete, then I can relax and I will have arrived. And there's nothing wrong with hoping for a better future, but what the mind loves to do is wrap all that into reasons why you can't just be happy right now. Because there's no content right now for it to latch a hold of. The mind loves to make problems of things because it's good at solving problems sometimes. Not when it works on its own, and it will tend to do that. So Eckhart talks about the psychological time and how can we recognize it in ourselves. He talks about there are two types of unconsciousness that we kind of inhabit in our daily lives. One is ordinary unconsciousness. And I know some of you are saying, I'm not ordinary, I don't want that one. Well, the other one is deep unconsciousness, so you really don't want that one either. But ordinary unconsciousness is one way to describe it. It's what is percolating underneath the scenes of our daily life. A little anxiety, perhaps, worry, a little that feeling that you may be having a great day. Have you ever had a great day and you're like, but wait a minute, it feels too great. I might be forgetting something here. I must have forgotten to do something. Or then your phone dings, you're like, oh, that'll be it. That's what I knew it was going too well. So this ordinary unconsciousness is this in the background running, kind of an anxiety feeling, sometimes just a little bit of unease, trying to keep us on our toes. You ever practice worry? You know, when you worry about something, you're in training for a thing in case it happens. Because then when it happens, it won't be that bad because you've already worried about it, right? Well, I hate to tell you, every time you've worried about it, it's as if the thing happened. The stress that you would feel, the anxiousness that you would feel, the sadness that you would feel when it happened, you've now lived through it several times. Sometimes it never even happens, and you've done all that training for nothing. And then sometimes it happens, you're like, oh wait, I still got to feel all that stuff anyway. None of that training did me any good. So that's the ordinary, and you might notice one of the things that he talks about, and I thought, oh, I recognize that from this week. For those of us that lost power, you know, there's sounds in your home, your appliances, your AC, praise God for AC, all that, and you don't even notice it because they're happening all the time. That's what your house sounds like at its quiet place. But when all that goes away, there's a new level of quiet. You suddenly realize, oh, I thought there were no sounds before, but this is really quiet. And it's the same thing with our minds. There's when they want to be in the past or in the future, and you can just look at this within yourself. Notice and observe, and all the things that we say about the mind today, these aren't judgments or making anybody wrong. These are considered normal behavior. That we are constantly looking out for what's the next thing, constantly trying to reach back in the past. Did we learn all the lessons we needed to learn back there? But what happens is we drag past that we don't need into this present moment, and we are already in the future. And when we get to the future, guess what? Now it's the now. So when you do have a goal or something that you want to achieve, whatever consciousness you have, like, I've got to get there, I've got to get there. When you arrive there, now what happens? That consciousness is still there because now you're wanting to get to the next place and the next place because it just doesn't satisfy. And advertisers know this. Advertisers live off of this. This is part of what's created our consumer culture now is because if you have a problem, they've got a solution. And if you don't know you have a problem, they'll invent a problem for you to buy something. I had a birthday last month, and this may be a coincidence, but right around the time of this birthday and ever since, there have been a lot of cosmetic companies very concerned about the aging appearance of my neck. They are worried about me, y'all. This is something that I didn't know I was supposed to be worried about. Frankly, I didn't know I had this problem. Thank goodness they figured it out. And they are able to provide me with products that will help my neck because I was just going to walk around here with a 50-year-old looking neck. Now my only concern is my neck's going to look 30, but the rest of from here up, I'm still going to look 50. So I'm just going to have to keep buying something, keep buying something, keep buying something. And that's the way it works. That's a silly example, but that's the way the mind works with everything. Okay, get this, check, get that. Yeah, that made me feel good for a second. Okay, let me move on to the next thing. It seeks to seek and never find. That's what the Course in Miracles says the ego's job is to seek and never find. But we keep thinking the next thing will be the thing that we can just kind of, Or if somebody else has something, that gets us sometimes too, right? So Michael last week talked about St. Google and getting information from St. Google. But I learned from the Muse last week, Our Lady of Gaga. And I was listening to Our Lady of Gaga one day, a song, A Million Reasons. I don't know if you remember that song. And I think it's a breakup song, but I was like, I don't know if I want to go Google, did Lady Gaga break up with somebody? I promise it's for a sermon. I don't know. I just felt a little like I don't want to be nosy there. So she talks about 100 million reasons to walk away. She's got 100 million reasons to walk away, but baby, she just needs one good one to stay. And so the mind will give you 100 million reasons why you can't be present right here, right now, why you can't be at peace, what you need to, 100 million things that you need to add to yourself or subtract from yourself to be at peace. But you only need one reason to ignore all that, only one reason to stay. And the reason, Rumi said it beautifully, and I didn't know this from Rumi until I read it in Power of Now, but he said that the past and future veil God from our sight. Burn them both up with fire. Rumi. Rumi and Gaga, that's a good team. If they would collaborate, that would be a good record, right? So how do we burn them up? It's the same thing in the delusion of time. How do we burn up past and future? Well, the first step is to notice. That's the easiest way. The moment you notice you are not present, you are present. Because who's noticing that you aren't present? If you are just caught up in the mind, getting here, doing this, arguing about this, feeling this stress, feeling this constriction, and you are fully in the story of it and believing it, you're just living it out. And we all do it to greater or lesser degrees at different times of our life. But when you question and you notice, wait a minute, I've left myself about 10 minutes ago. You ever get home after you've driven home and I don't remember one thing about the ride here? But that also happens in our day-to-day interactions. Have you ever had a conversation with someone and then realized, I wasn't listening to a thing they said? Because your mind was worried about something that you needed to do afterwards, or something they said triggered something in you. Whatever it was, you weren't there now. So if we want to notice our presence, that's all we have to simply do. Notice when you start, what does it feel like? What does it feel like when you're in meditation and you are feeling present, or when you're sitting with a loved one or you're in nature? Think of those times that you feel completely calm, completely at peace, that you don't need anything to be any different. What is it with the quality about that? It's not the content of the moment. We all can't sit under a tree all the time or only be with people that we, like all the time. Yes, we love everybody here, though. It's not about the content. It's about something in that moment in you was at home with yourself. So our job is then to notice when we are not at home with ourselves, when we've wandered off. Meister Eckhart, 13th century Christian mystic, he said, God's always at home. It is we who have gone for a walk. So when you notice yourself away from home, you come back home, simply, you can ask yourself some questions. Eckhart says to ask yourself the question, can I be at peace with this? How am I being? Notice he says, to be at least as interested as what's happening inside as you are about what's happening outside. Notice what's going on. Notice your mind will try to make up a story of why you can't be at peace. It has 1 million of those, 100 million of those. But instead, just see if you don't follow that story and just to say, what's going on here? And just simply breathe. Simply breathe, and that will anchor you into the present moment. Maybe even just briefly, but it's enough because you have opened up a dimension to the timeless. So if we can be at one with the present moment, and sometimes the present moment doesn't look great, right? Sometimes we're like, well, not this present moment, though. You can't tell me I'm supposed to be enjoying sitting in Houston in 100-degree temperatures with no air conditioning. I'm not going to tell you that. When I'm talking about the present moment, isn't so much about the content of the moment. It's about the place where within you, you meet that which is eternal in you. And you rest in that place. And from that place, it's not an inactive place. You don't have to announce to everybody, okay, I'm going to get present now. You don't. That's not what it is. From that place arises joy, arises right action, arises wise solutions. So the other piece that I'd like to bring in, so we talk about the present moment and how it's important and it's beautiful, how the mind just wants to bypass it because everything else is more interesting than just being right here, right now. And there's you've all heard this phrase that I'm about to tell you, but there's different theories about where it came from. And one I found that said it was a legend from a Persian king who asked his council of wise people, his elders, his spiritual gurus, to come up with a phrase that he could use both when he was happy and when he was sad, that he could use when he liked what was happening and when he didn't like what was happening, and that this phrase would be just as effective for either. And the phrase is, "This too shall pass away." So this too shall pass away. If I'm saying, well, let's honor the present moment, is this contradictory then to say this too shall pass away? If we contemplate and really get still with the idea that this too shall pass away, everything that we see in this world of form, all of our relationships, all of our roles, everything that we do, is that they become even more precious. Being with that and being in that becomes even more precious. But the tendency is to, when we don't like something, this too shall pass away, this too shall pass away. That's a beautiful mantra, and make it go away. That's not it. This too shall pass away. This is just something that has come, but not here to stay. I am more than this. I am the space that holds all this. I will watch it go and come. The trickier part is that this too shall pass away when things are good. That's not maybe a mantra we want to use when things are good. I think about when my kids were little. I used both. Either one of these was hard. Sometimes the this too shall pass. Oh my goodness, there were phases that could not pass quickly enough. I could not wait for them to be over. And then there were times as they were growing up that, oh my goodness, I would feel this overwhelming urge to want to freeze them right where they were. They're so precious and so beautiful. And life just felt so good to be with them. And here they are just growing up, and I had no control over it. And I remember one time, this was my youngest child, and he's quite independent. And he was 3. I love 3. 3 is such a beautiful age. They're not quite babies. They're really showing you their personality. They're hilarious. But he was standing in front of the mirror and brushing his hair. I came into the bedroom and I saw him in the bathroom, and I had never seen him just doing that on his own. He was sitting there, and I got a lump in my throat. I said, oh my gosh, he's growing up so fast. My older son, 6 years older, I was like, oh, he's going to be in school just like Ethan. And they're both going to be gone. I mean, there goes my mind. I want to just keep this, my child is so sweet and innocent, and I love being with him. I want to freeze him like this. And I started crying. And just about that time, he turns and looks at me. It's so beautiful. And I was like, oh, this child can ask me for anything in this moment, and I will give it to him. I can tell you that. And he looks at me and he says, Mommy. I said, yes, honey. He said, you look so weird when you cry. I think, pop that balloon real quick. But that's the lessons that I got from being a parent, and other things in life too. Even the good things, the things that we love. When you're clinging and worried about losing them, you're not fully enjoying them. You're missing out on the beauty that's in this moment. Even when things seem challenging or difficult, I'm not saying you are going to be in love with every moment that you have, but there's an aliveness in it when you are willing to accept and lean into it. So I'd like to close today. Well, not quite close, but I would like to talk a little bit about the contents of your life. Don't worry, you don't have to tell me. The contents of your life. Yes, who would like to? Want to tell me all the stuff that you're worried about or that you're worried about and didn't happen, or all your failures, your successes, all the things you judge yourself? No one? Oh, okay. Anytime you can come up here. I don't have to know the contents. We don't have to know the contents of each other's lives, but it's helpful when we tell each other our stories. A healing can happen, to be seen. But also what is really very helpful is to hold each other beyond all of our conditions. And that's one of the things I think unity does so well. If I come to you and I say I'm hurting, you don't have to tell me, you don't have to hurt. God's fine. God's all good. But God, Stacy. No, we can say, I see your suffering. And I know the truth of your wholeness, your completeness. I don't even have to say that out loud to you, but I can know that for you. And know that God is being revealed in, through, and as you. That the perfection of spirit, divine intelligence, is revealing itself in every circumstance. So that's one of the beautiful things that we get to do for one another in spiritual community. In John chapter 14, verse 27, Jesus said, "My peace I give to you. My peace I leave with you. Peace I leave with you. My peace I give to you. Peace I leave with you. My peace I give to you." And that's beautiful, the idea of peace. But what's critical and the most important is the follow-up sentence. Because he says, not as the world gives. That's exactly right. Not as the world gives. Because when we look for the world to give us a steady stream of peace, we can't help but suffer or be frustrated. Because it's not the world's job to give us a steady stream of peace, frankly. The world's job is to ebb and to flow and to forms appear and forms dissolve. And so does our roles within that world. But underneath all of that, we have a peace that's not as the world gives, a peace that cannot be taken away, a peace that includes and embraces all things. So I know it's been a tough week. It's still ongoing for many Houstonians. But I want to say this too. We were at a beautiful memorial service for one of our members yesterday. And I noticed in those conversations and some of the conversations I've had this week, such a tenderness in the way that people are being with one another. I see people being present with one another. You know, a lot of times you ask, how are you? But you're not really listening to what the answer is. I've seen people, how are you? And they really want to know. And just even that being able to be present with someone is so healing and such a gift. And I see it in all of you. And I see it out in the city as well. People arising to take care of people's needs and helping neighbors and enveloping people where they can. So you're wonderful. Thank you all for coming today. I would love to close this with a prayer. When we talk about time, Hafiz says that the breath is on God's time. The breath is the clock of God. Don't we want to be on God's time? And so I invite you right here, right now, to know that you are exactly in and on God's time. That whatever it is, whatever challenges you're facing, whatever you find yourself trying to navigate, just being human, that you are supported, that you are uplifted, that you are surrounded by the love of the infinite, by the vastness of all that is. That is what you are. So anything that you need to do anything that you need to express, that you have come here to reveal, I know and affirm that you are completely resourced for that. I know and affirm that the goodness of the all is now revealing itself in every area of your life and in our world. That this is a community of peacemakers, a community that extends love out into the world and embraces all who find their way here. And in this way, we are healing and transforming ourselves and the world. And so it is. Amen. Thank you all so much for being here today. Love you.
Thank you, Reverend Stacy, for the love and the light you are. And thank God for spiritual tools and spiritual resources and for this beautiful campus that has power. We didn't know earlier in the week if we were going to get power back and be able to have service today. So we're just so blessed and so grateful. And the campus will be open this week. If you need a place to cool off, charge your phone, meditate, see others, pray with people, you can go to the art gallery or the chapel from 8 to 4, Monday through Friday this week, because we know. Yeah. So thank you again for showing up and being here now. Really appreciate it. Now's the time we can give our gifts to help this ministry, to spread the word, to continue to grow and reveal the light that we are in this world. So hold your gift in your heart or in your hands and let us say this prayer together. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all the good I am and have, all the good I give and receive. So it is.
What is my life is the eternal question. It's the journey that each one of us must make. The dawn of every day, I need a light to show the way, something to focus on and help me reach my goal. I start each day with prayer and meditation. It's the way that I find peace within my soul. At the dawn of every day, I need the light to show the way, something to focus on and help me reach my goal. Every day, I do awakening. Every day, a vision for my life. Every day, I have renewal of my spirit. Every day, I am walking in the light. Every day, my courage just grows stronger. I am emerging from my soul's dark, lonely night. It's a spiritual awakening. I am standing in my truth, in the beauty and the wonder and the ecstasy of life now in my sight. Check this out. I realize that I have found the answers to the questions that have troubled me so long. Turning to the God within, I find power to begin to live my life on terms that are my own.
in the lobby today. You can sign up for the blood drive. You can also donate for school uniforms for elementary school kids, for our local public school that's nearby that we've adopted. And also you can learn about spirit groups. It's not too late to sign up for a spirit group. The commitment is 6 weeks, but some spirit groups have been meeting for years. It's just a way to know people and go deeper with spiritual conversation. And also after the service, please go to the bookstore. You can meet Stephanie Foy and Dr. Jean Ladding and get some snacks and refreshments. And also today at 12:30, there's a positive discipline class, and that is in the education building at 12:30. Our prayer partners will be down front to pray with you after the service.
Now we invite you to rise as you are able for our peace song.
On earth and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, a peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, family all are we. Let me walk with my family.
The presence of God watches over us wherever we are